Welcome to TSMC Part 4, The Future We Built. Is TSMC's crown secure or a house of cards? The crossroads of a tech empire. TSMC is no longer just a company. It's an institution, geopolitical asset, and a high-stakes bargaining chip. But history has a way of humbling giants. The world fought to protect TSMC. Now the question is, did TSMC trade control for survival? And if so, will it ever truly get it back? Transition from company to a global institution. TSMC has become too important to be just a business, and now serves as the foundation of global economic stability. This means more power, but also more scrutiny, more restrictions, and less control over its own fate. A company that once dictated its own future must now answer to multiple governments, industries, and power blocks. The U.S. hand in TSMC's future. The Arizona fabs were only the first step. U.S. policymakers are already considering legislation that could tighten control over foreign-operated fabs on U.S. soil. Washington wants more than just factories. It wants strategic leverage. The political risk if the U.S. shifts priorities or semiconductors subsidies dry up. Does TSMC get stranded in an expensive, unprofitable expansion? How does China react to this? As TSMC gets pulled deeper into U.S. industrial policy, Beijing's incentives to act increases before Taiwan loses its unique bargaining position. The global semiconductor map is redrawn. Intel, Samsung, and European manufacturers are working hard to replicate TSMC's expertise. The US, Japan, and Europe are aggressively investing in domestic semiconductor production to break Taiwan's monopoly. TSMC still leads, but for how long? If multiple countries develop their own high-end fabrication, does Taiwan lose its silicon shield? The shifting balance. If semiconductor production becomes decentralized, will TSMC remain an empire or just one player in a divided market? The biggest risk no one is talking about. What if TSMC has already peaked? Taiwan's economy is dangerously reliant on TSMC and contributes nearly 15% of Taiwan's GDP. If a major shift happens, whether it's China's actions, U.S. subsidies, or supply chain decentralization, Taiwan could face an economic crisis. Does Taiwan have a backup plan if the world no longer depends on TSMC in the same way? TSMC's crossroads. You can be the king of an empire, or you can be the last ruler of a dying kingdom. TSMC's legacy depends on which path it chooses. The world fought to protect it. Now it has to fight to protect itself. Next steps. Track new U.S. legislative departments that could further entangle TSMC under Washington's control. Watch for major shifts in semiconductor investment from Intel, Samsung, and European manufacturers. Analyze Taiwan's domestic policies. Does the government recognize the long-term risk over reliance on TSMC?